Welcome to another episode of Buckets and Breakdowns from the good folks at Ball is Life, man. We got a special guest here, a real pioneer culture right now, especially with a lot of the young athletes right now. We got LBoogz in here today, spending his time to break down his journey, man. He's been at Sierra Canyon. Yes, sir, man. I mean, you play ball at Sierra Canyon, basketball. I want to know about all of that, and then you're currently playing at US a cornerback. Like, first off, let's start from the jump, man. How did you end up going to Sierra Canyon?
Well, so actually, I went to Harvard Westlake first with me and Cassius. We're both freshmen, right? So I went there for 2 years. Johnny and Juzane came my sophomore year. We won again that year, so that was already two rings. So we had 2 rings first, and then I think Cassius was potentially and Taryn Frank too, of course. Okay. So then Taryn turned to Sierra Canyon. Cassius did. I was supposed to transfer to Windward. That didn't work out. And then I came to Sierra Canyon last minute. So we all came, a whole wave of all of us went to Sierra Canyon all at one time, and then KJ Martin came from Chaminade. We was all, Scotty came from Florida. We had the whole gang from everywhere, you know what I'm saying, across the country. I ended up back on Sierra Canyon, yeah.
So that was that main year when things just started taking off for the high school over there. I mean, you're getting all that talent in 1 year. I mean, you mentioned KJ Martin right now. Like, what was it like playing with him and then just seeing him right now doing what he's doing in Houston? I remember him when he was a baby. I know his pops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
His pops played for my dad when he was in New Jersey. So just to see him, and as you know, I coached at Crossroads High School. We'll get into that when we had those battles. But
we'll get into that, yeah.
What's it like to
we'll get into that?
Like a guy like KJ, go from high school and running line drills and practice to playing for the Rockets.
So it's just, for me, it's even funnier because, I have to guard him on practice normally, so like just seeing him, and he plays the exact same way, but he's added a really good 3-point shot to his arsenal. You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing him, when he first tried out, it was like, we had the top 10 3-point shooters from the camp, and he's like 5th, and I'm like, where have you been at, my boy? You know what I'm saying? I've seen him working with Olin, you know what I'm saying? As he's getting in the lab, because people always, he's a dunker, only this, and you know what I'm saying? But he does it all now, you know what I'm saying? And you're seeing like him doing this exact same dunks in high school, and the NBA is just like, I'm like, yo, like, go crazy, KJ, you know what I'm saying? So like, for me, it's just like, it's amazing for me, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, like KJ, he's doing it, and just so proud of him, It's just good to see it.
Yes, sir. Me too, man. I'm super proud of him and his family, living his dream and, following Pop's footsteps. I think it's dope. And also Cassius, man, like Cassius coming out, bro, that's so much athleticism at one time. Going from Harvard Westlake to Sierra Canyon, I remember those battles also. He gave us, I think, 20 to 30 light. But, man, one of the best in-game dunkers I've ever seen, man. Talk about him.
So Cassius, when I first, got into Harvard Westlake, I knew I was going. And then I heard about Cassius was coming, but I didn't know Cassius at all. I looked up Instagram, and I was like, he's in my grade? I'm like, he's doing through the legs at Pangos, tween. I'm like, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? So then we get there our first day, and it's a kids camp. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the camp, and he comes to do some dunks. And his first thing was just tween. First guy I've seen do it, light. 15, 16, just light though. And I was like, this dude's a beast, And then I later found out that my mom and his dad were really close friends back in the day. And he actually came to like my 3rd birthday party when I was 3 years old. I had no idea, but like it's kind of crazy how it's all. That's what I'm saying. It's all connected, And that was kind of a crazy story with that, man. But Cassius is a monster. You know what I'm saying? At first, I was on JV first at my freshman year for a few games, but then I was averaging 30. And then we played Calabasas, and then I gave Calabasas like 40. They're like, the coach for Calabasas was like, hey, Harvard Westlake, why is this kid on JV? It's not okay for him. put him on. You know what I'm saying? So then boom,
Right.
now I'm on varsity. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm actually with Cassius and all that. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
that was a great experience my freshman year. But Cassius was a dog, man. He was getting 20 just ease. It was pull ups. It was just crazy dunks like every game. You
Mhm.
know, like you think now for me seeing him be normalized, but every day it was just something just
Right.
nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Right.
something nasty.
So, you had so many amazing teammates at that time. I call them prodigies. You know what I mean? You can tell that they're
Yeah, yeah,
bound for
yeah.
greatness, and they're elite level talent that has what it takes to make it to the pro level. And I'm gonna just go down the line of some of your teammates if you cool with that.
Yeah, bro,
Another one.
I'm with it. I'm with it all.
Yeah, yeah. So another one of the guys that kind of blows my mind is Amare Bailey. I think he's amazing, and I remember him coming in as a freshman and really
Mm-hmm.
getting minutes and looking like he belonged early, which is very rare when you
Yeah,
see high
yeah.
school sports. And he's getting big minutes. Talk about him, man, and where you see his trajectory to be.
Okay, so I first met Amari. We were already in our school year, maybe like 2, 3 weeks in, and he was walking around the school with his mom and Coach Andre, and he goes, "Oh, come
Hmm.
over here." I'm like, okay, how you doing? I'm thinking, it's like a young recruit for next year. He goes, "Oh, who'll be starting here next week?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, like bet." I know he was. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Right.
our teammates, we're doing our homework. We're like, who's this freshman kid coming to our team after we just won a championship? So we're like, who is this
Right.
guy? Look him up, and it was like, oh, Amare Bailey scores 81 at middle school, hoops. I'm like, 81
Whew.
or 70 something, it's something crazy. And I'm
81.
like, okay. And at the time, it's 81 or 70 something. You know what I'm saying? And he's 14 at the time.
Hmm.
So he's really young as a freshman. So he comes in. We're first practice, we're scoping him out. You know what I'm saying, seeing how he moves, and he just had this nasty layup. After that day, I was like, oh, he's like that. I was like, he's like that.
It
He had a
didn't
nice
take
like
long.
five, like something. It was, what I'm saying? It was something like Euro or
Yeah.
spin. It was something crazy
Yep.
to a nice lay. And we were like, he's like
Yep.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what we
Yeah, for
knew.
sure.
And then he started kind of like exactly, and he started like kind of cementing himself. Just being that guy just early on that year. Then I
Hmm.
forgot what team we were playing, but it was a breakaway, and he hit him with a windmill on the fast break, and he was just like,
Hmm.
LeBron,
As a
like, you know what I'm
freshman.
saying? And after that, he was just like, he was like, I'm here, true freshman. I'm here. And the
Hmm.
funny thing with Amari is that we were in practice one time, and he's young. You know what I'm saying? He'll make mistakes. We all make mistakes with her in practice. And then our coach, he said like, "Come on, Amari, like something like I can't be seeing you doing that 14-year-old stuff, man. Right now, lock in." And he just
Hmm.
turned 15. I guess that's to me. He's like, man, I'm 15, and I'm just like, yo, you're crazy, like, bro, you're nuts, bro. Like, he's like, man, I'm 15 now, bro. Like, give me my 1 year. You know what I'm saying? And
Right, right.
so that was that year. Boom. And then sophomore year, I got to at least go to, or his sophomore year, I got to go to a lot of games. Luckily, I was at prep school, and basically when they were in Boston, for some reason, I was in Boston too. I don't know how that worked out that way. So
Mhm.
I got to see him, him and Bronny and Zaire and Brandon Boston and all them um, on their road trips, and just kind of seeing the progression of how he's playing and just having that mentality, that dog mentality into
Mhm.
junior year, where he just started going. It was his team. Brandon graduated, Zaire graduated, Taryn graduated, and he just put that this is my team now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Flip that switch on, flip that switch, and it was just
Mhm.
over. He's going and getting 30. He's doing, just taking over games. And
Absolutely.
people were saying like, oh, like he's not really shooting, he's knocking down shots. Like now what? He just gets
Yep.
anything.
Yeah.
Top five. And Cassius no, because I think Cassius played him in once freshman year. I don't know how the game went, but he played him. And after that game, I know Cassius started calling him top five Bailey or something, like top five. And that was freshman year. So,
Yeah.
we all saw it. We all saw it.
Now, okay, you mentioned Cassius. Now, I heard a myth, and I want to talk about some of these practices because that's where the diamonds are made in these practices. All you guys are going at it. Now, I heard Amare and Cassius play one day in practice. Is it true Amare got him as a freshman?
They played one on one after practice, but I don't think you mean like he
Okay,
dunked on him or beat him.
no, beat him one as a true freshman.
I don't think he beat. He was. I remember he came out scoring a few in a row, but I don't think he beat him. But they did. They for
Okay,
sure played though. They for sure
okay,
played. And
okay.
Cassius said after he was like Amari's top five. He said it after the thing. He said
Got
Amari's
his
top five. He's tough. He's tough.
got his respect. Got his
Yeah,
respect.
got respect that way.
Man, I'm a fan of dogs, man. I truly believe, you don't have to be the most talented, player, but you have to have that dog mentality and a work ethic that'll get you over the hump and keep you competitive,
Mm-hmm.
man. And when you mix that with great talent, man, then you got a great player. It was my
Yeah.
experience, what I've observed, from pros to young guys on their way to be pros. There were so many guys there. You mentioned Brandon Boston. We just played, as I'm with the Ignite right now as assistant coach. We just played against the Clippers G League team. I'd say a few weeks ago, and it looks easy. You know what I mean? He looks like he's a pro, and you've seen it early in high school. It's translating, and I feel like he's going to have a great career in the pros. What did you see from him early that you starting to see now as a teammate when he was at Sierra?
So Brandon Boston got there the year after I graduated. So I
Okay,
was at
okay,
prep school. But
right.
I got to still when I heard the recruits were coming in, I got to like look him up on YouTube, and I was like, okay, he's tough, but he's so nice. Like you got to see him in person because the highlights weren't even doing him justice on the Balls Life stuff and all the videos. And then Sierra Canyon year, I think it was one move, because he's like 6'7", he's like 6'8" now. I think he's like 6'8"
Mm-hmm,
now, but especially with the hair, you know what I'm saying? So
mm-hmm,
he comes down, I think, against like Rebay or Centennial, and he took
mm-hmm.
on like three dudes. It was like a boom, behind the back, snatch back, lay, and I was like, league him
Oh,
now.
I seen
like,
that. I seen
you
that.
know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, bro, league him now, and because he had Evan Mobley. He was also my teammate in AAU since
Mm,
16U. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
And it's over Evan. You know what I'm saying?
He's
Evan's
cold.
lanky. So it was a
He's
scoop.
cold.
It was a scoop lay. You know what I'm saying? Over Evan. I was just like, yeah, league him. And for
League him.
me at first, I was like, okay, like the league. Like the league's like, oh, it's just so. It seems so distant. Even though you have like guys like Stanley Johnson who were in the area who were making it, it just seems so distant. Until now, I'm just like, all the homies are there. Josh and they're all a lot of them are there right now. And
Mm-hmm,
it's like, wow, like they're really doing it. And
mm-hmm.
and yeah, I know, being at Kentucky, I wasn't sure how. I mean, and they didn't have like the best year, but I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, league him. The
Mm-hmm.
people were like, oh my gosh, he had 40 in the G League. I can't believe it. I'm like, no, this is work for him. This is
This
what
is
he does.
normal. Yeah, yeah. I think they
This
got a
is normal.
steal.
This is what he does.
Yeah, I think the Clippers got a
Yeah,
steal,
I
man.
saw. Yeah, they got a huge steal.
And he was in their
Huge steal.
backyard.
I'm over sitting around. I'm like, backyard. I'm like, what are y'all? I'm like, why isn't he drafted already? Then I'm seeing, Sharif Cooper. I'm like, where's Sharif at? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so yeah, exactly.
So
He's nice. He's like that. He's gonna have a good career. I'm sure of it.
he's cold. He's cold. So also, I remember starting at point guard. You had Scottie Pippen Jr., right?
Yes, sir. We
Yeah,
had Scotty at the one.
yeah. I loved his game because he was really poised. It looked like he's been there before. He got the guys the ball when they needed it. Obviously, had a lot of talent that they need the ball to do what they do. What was it like? You think for him just to be an extended coach on the floor for you guys and make sure that everybody ate in order to win games?
Well, one thing about Scotty, he's an all around point guard, but he will get his, but he's also a really good passer. There's one game we played Fairfax High School, I believe my junior year at Fairfax,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he probably threw me 4 or 5 dimes. Same spot. I'm cutting the basket. look off, drive, dish. He's a really good passer, has great vision, and he's been
Mm-hmm.
eating since junior year. And kind of like seeing his progression at Vandy, you know, for me personally, even when he was ranked like a 3-star, they also ranked KJ a 3-star, you know? And I
Right.
know that I'm like, and I played against everybody, played guard everybody, you know, you can name them. I played them, I've guarded them. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, those are 5-stars. You can give them a 3, but you're going to see soon, you know? And now I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing KJ. I'm like, told you. Seeing Scotty,
Mm-hmm.
I told you, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
he's got stronger every year, got the bounce up every year, and kind of enhance his craft every single year. And now you see it at Vandy, full display. It's just, you see it, you know?
Yep. Yep.
He's just like that. Yeah.
So, when you're playing with these guys, high notoriety, the skill to back it up, you got to get yours too. Now, you ain't out there just, you know what I'm saying, just a body. You a hooper. You say you average 30, as a JV. And how was it for you just kind of finding your role and also getting yours and still winning games and but still like making your print at that prestigious school?
You know, Harvard Westlake, my freshman year, when I first moved up to varsity, because the coach first thought I wasn't going to play varsity. He goes, oh yeah, I wasn't ready for varsity. Put him on JV. And I was like, now what? It's like, okay, put him on varsity. And I didn't play too much the first like 2 games, and then where I got my shine was we played Alemany,
Mm-hmm.
and they told me to guard. I think his name was DJ something from Alemany, and he was averaging like 25 for Alemany that year. And all right, I want you to face guard him, you know. And I kind of got my niche just playing defense and just guarding the other team's
Mm-hmm.
best player. So then
Mm-hmm.
from that game, it kind of just stretched on sophomore year in practice. You know, like for example, I got the guard in practice versus everybody. You know, Johnny's at UCLA, got the guard in practice for Compton Magic and for school, and that kind of became my niche, which is mid range buckets and just guarding the other team's best player. You know, and then we get this junior year um, for practice. At first, I was 6 man for junior year, and it
Mm-hmm.
basically be our Scotty, Cassius, and let's not forget Dwayne Washington from
Oh
Ohio State
yeah.
on the
Oh wait,
Pacers
we
now
can't forget
is
about Dwayne Washington.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
filthy.
we can't no, Dwayne
Please.
is nuts, bro.
Filthy.
Dwayne is
Honestly, he was
filthy.
my favorite player
So
on that team y'all had y'all
yeah, he
junior
was a
year.
lot of people.
He was my favorite
Yeah,
player
he
y'all
was
had.
he was a lot of people's favorite player. One of our biggest games, I think he's probably. I think he's the best shooter that I've been around. Is Dwayne 3 point just best shooter, just form and everything. And then we played Bishop Montgomery,
Mm-hmm.
and we were down by 3. Someone takes the ball out, throws it full court. He catches it, inside the 3 point line, bounces it, spins, still heavily guarded, and he just pulls it and he just ties the game. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, he's nuts. You know what I'm saying? One play I watched last night of Dwayne and I was hilarious. Was we played Shadow Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
We played Shadow Mountain, and he was killing the game. But a 3 point shot, boom! It's like 5, 4, 3. He pulls it from deep. He misses it. I come in, tip it in, and I think the game's over. I think we won the game. You can find the clip. It's on. But I was screaming. I was yelling. Whatever. Dwayne comes over like, yeah, man, let's go. We good. And you know what I'm saying? We ended up losing the game, but it just like just be playing with Dwayne was just an honor. You know what I'm saying? He's really like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of players were calling him our best player that year. A lot of like other teams were saying that about Dwayne. And he was kind of was getting underappreciated with social media in the first few months. And then
Yeah.
it got to a point. It was like you can't he's just like that. You got to give him his flowers. But yeah,
Yeah.
Dwayne's cold.
Yeah. And I got to see him a little bit of summer league with Indy. I believe he was with Cassius. And I think he's another
Yeah,
guy
exactly.
that
Yeah.
maybe at this next level, maybe seen as a late bloomer, but we know that he's cold, and I feel like he belongs. He has a special talent. Obviously, he's able to shoot, but he can also score, and he's a winner. If you look at the
Yeah,
track
Dwayne's a
record and
winner,
what you
man.
guys done, and I feel like there's some scouts that probably not working hard enough at the next level because I
Oh
believe he
no,
should be on a roster getting some minutes in the NBA
no,
for
yeah,
sure. And he may
hundred
be. I
percent.
haven't been able to see too much lately, but he's definitely a player that I feel like is going to be a force to be reckoned with. So
100%.
yep, and one thing I want to say too, just for any of the young high school, college guys, anybody that's listening to this that's still playing competitively, I think a lot of people have to take a page out of your book in terms of, yeah, you play with high level guys. Coach said gave you an opportunity to play, and it's like, look, I need you to face guard this guy, right? Maybe your role in your mind was I can score, I can do this, that, and the other, but in order to get on the floor, you were asked to
Yeah,
defend. And
exactly.
so when you build that trust as a defender, you the court, right? And then you can get yours a little bit on offense too, but you had a niche and an identity that you embraced. Probably was not very easy to embrace early, but was able
Yeah,
to get on the floor because you had a niche that you embraced as far. So I just want to acknowledge that and give you your kudos because sometimes pride comes in the way and people don't really, or players don't really know their full potential, or don't see that they have other talents. And it's a bigger picture when it comes to the team. And you're a team guy and a
exactly.
winner. And I think that's super dope.
Yeah, man. Just even because it's in practice, it just felt like the Scotty and them, they knew I was the defender guy, so they were just trying to come at me every time, like we're gonna get L mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying? It was obviously it wasn't 1 versus 5, but psychologically it was 1v5 every practice and
Yeah.
during our scrimmages, because even Coach Andre, he put me aside one day. He goes, L, L, he goes, I want you to mess them up every day. Do you hear me? I'm like, okay. He said, I
You don't
want
want to
you to
make
annoy
them
them.
better.
I want you to be a pest. He said, I want you to just get them angry every day. I go, all right. It would get chippy. It wasn't like, with people, people fight in practice, people push in practice, people name call, whatever, but it was just, well, I'm here, let's go. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter. We score. We just kind of just, emphasize every bucket, like for a 3-pointer, like prep school now, I say boom. I think it's more like a New York kind of East Coast thing
We
that I
do it
kind of
too.
where I kind of got it from because, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
boom,
Boom.
that,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Just
Yep. I know it.
every bucket, you just want to gas it. You know what I'm saying? Want to
Mm-hmm.
gas it and just bring energy. And he was like, all right, I need you to bring energy and do that. And if you're doing that, and you're getting, if you're playing on these kind of 5 stars, you're going to get, you get a few shots here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but you miss, they can't say anything to you because you're guarding the best player on the team.
Exactly, man. So like there's almost something there. If there's no LBoogz, and these guys probably don't excel the way they do or did because you pushing these guys every day. They're looking at you like I got to try and get a bucket on L because he's the toughest defender probably in the state. To be real, you going up against these guys every day in
Yeah,
practice, and so you're making them better. And so I think
yeah,
there's not enough team guys in that regard. And shoot, man, I'm rolling with you. You got my respect. But now you lead me to
100%. Yeah.
yeah, you lead me to another part. I want to talk about these practices, man, because I know when you got that type of talent, there's a lot of egos that can be involved. But how did Coach Andre and Coach Ed and the rest of the staff keep you guys as level headed, focus on the task at hand, do what was best for the team, and also like figure out who's going to start, who's going to play. But that always comes through practice. So just break that environment, that atmosphere down on how competitive it was.
Okay. Well, I think our first starting team. I think it was Dwayne at the 1, Scotty at the 2, Cassius, Taryn Frank at Vandy now, and then KJ was at the 5, and then I was 6 man, with someone named Will Washington. We come in for 2 guard, 3 guard. Um, so we first got there, I think we were always kind of happy to be there, because Dwayne came from Grand Rapids, and he kept talking about how he would always get to the championship, and then someone happened to lose, so he had a chip on his shoulder from there. So he was down for the team since day one when he got there. He was shooting a lot. There was times where he was shooting a lot, and people were like, "Yo, bro, like, come on, like, share the wealth," So we had some times like that, and instances like that. Scotty came, I think, from Florida, and I mean, I don't think they were like it wasn't a crazy high school, So he comes here, he's like, good opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's good people, good coaches who actually care. He's coming in early and getting work before season starts. We're all there. I mean, obviously, Cassius wants to get his too. Because at Howard Westlake, beyond green light, and obviously the coach can say a few things to you, but it's like come on, bro. Like I'm just, I'm like that, bro. I'm gonna get my socks up, But Sierra Ken, I was like, all right. It was like kind of a learning curve for a lot of our star players, where it was like, look, man, like you look to your left, you got a 5-star. You look to your right, you got a 5-star. So having you using that to our advantage and actually like having us blend together, and it all blended. Our first year, we lost to Mater Dei in the championship for CIF, and that's what really made us angry, because the whole year we're winning, and it was that game that kind of like cemented us with like the chip on our shoulder, like, like we're gonna get it, we're gonna lock in, we're gonna be so teed in, and we're gonna just go. You know what I'm saying? As a team, as a unit, and everybody had everybody's respect. And then what's crazy is after that game, we get to practice, and we're like, man, coach is finna run us. We finna run us. Oh yeah, 17s. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I made a post. It was like, what's worse, 17s or suicides? It's 17s, bro. No questions asked. It's 17s. It's 17s. It is 17s. We turned the. I think we had some turnovers in our practices. I remember Dwayne had like a funny, like bad turnover. He like caught the ball and just lost it. He was like, ah. But like we were all just kind of playing bad for a second in the turnover aspect. Coach Andre was not playing. Coach Andre is hilarious. We'll talk about him later, but he was just like he's just like he's like, all right. He's like, okay, you don't want to play with me? Get on line. We're like, all right. He ran us. People thought we were gonna throw up. It was all bad that day, But the practice after we lost it the matter of day, so we came in like we're probably gonna run. We're probably gonna do this. He's like, all right, guys, everybody line up. We're like, okay, line up. All right, guys. He goes, pack your things because we're going bowling. We went, huh? So he took us bowling after the loss. So we're kind of like, it's a prank. Like, where the cameras at?
Right.
But we were bowling. So it was like, okay, like we feel a little better now. Like, let's get loose. Let's get to it. Next practice. And that's what kind of gave us a chip on the shoulder for that very last game for our championship. And it was so sweet. That was Cassius and I. That was our third ring. That was our third ring. That win. And the whole year we kept making fun of Coach Andre and them, and he made fun of us. He would call us, "Oh, Harvard Westlake, you guys won Division 4, like whatever." I go, "We won Division 4 our first year because we were there. We couldn't change that, but we changed it, and we were Division 1 the next year. So or Division 2 or 1, something like that. I don't know. No, sorry, we were Division 2 the next year. So I was like, look, we made our jump. We said y'all had these names, and y'all last chip is Division 5. So so that was kind of like our ongoing joke the entire year. And then what I'm saying, and then other reporters, other teams are always posting stuff like, oh, like Chicane, they're not gonna work, they're gonna fold, they have too many egos, and we're like, what egos are you talking about? So we're just kind of like, and just kind of looking in. They just thought this was like a bunch of just random good players and put them together. They won't mesh. So that championship was more like, I don't want to say from the haters, but it was us versus the world. It felt like that junior year. And that championship, it was just like just sheer excitement and just everything. It was just amazing. But that was probably like our favorite championship was that junior championship. 100%.
Man, that's dope. And we see the hoodie, take no L's. And I know that's your clothing line you got going on. Is that centered behind your Sierra Canyon days and winning championships and coming in with that mindset?
So Take No L actually came from my freshman year. I made a rap song. I'm not gonna lie to you. and I
Okay.
needed a name for it. And my friend was like, you know what, L? He was like, call it Take Noel because your name. I was like, huh, all right, whatever. And then this came on accident. I had a birthday party, and my dad he made me some hoodies like these for my birthday for
Mhm.
me. I'm like, dang. I'm
Mhm.
like, dang, these are dope, Poppy. Got the LBoogz in it. I'm like, this is dope.
Yeah.
Thank you. My friends were like, yo, L, like, can I get one? I'm like, no, this is mine. What do you mean you want to get one? I was confused. I was like, oh, like, sell them. Sure.
Ding.
So it kind of happened on accident, like, ding, it kind of on accident. And then I started taking it seriously my junior year of high school. It got to a point everybody had one on campus. If you went to school every day, at least, three heads a day, someone had it on. Teachers were supporting and it really took off my senior year, but junior year was really good for me. And it helped out because we were winning. So it was like, it was taking the L's. And,
Mhm.
but what's funny is our theme, well, like after we won our championship, getting off the bus, we all had the hoodie on almost. Maybe like me,
Mhm.
Cassius, I think Brooks, maybe like KJ, maybe one more person had it on. So we come off the bus and we just wearing it. So it was like, hey, no L's, you know what I'm saying? It's just W's
Right.
over here, at Sierra. And then I kind of cemented it our senior as we won again. So I mean, Cassius was like, man, we got 4 rings. Like, only person I've seen with 4 rings is Thanos. So
Mm.
me and Cassius,
Oh wow.
Cassius, we're feeling good. And
All right.
yeah, it came from that, and it kind of just got cemented throughout high school, and then our what's his name, Mr. Scrumbus, he supported me, and he allowed me to do a collab with the school. So then I had a
Oh wow.
CRKN collab with the SC on the back, yeah, SC on the back, and then I was selling them at school, and for basketball games. Now when I go back, I always see them with the
That's
SC on it.
awesome.
People are still wearing them. So it's like, even though I'm not there, it's like, I'm still in the building. I'm still there, and that's kind of hit me in the right way, and even influencing. There's a little kid, Miss Amy's son. I forgot the son's name, but he has a new brand now, and then just tie dye, SC Sear Can, whatever, and he's been selling it, but he's been giving money to charity from it. And he's
Mhm.
8 years old. His mom hits me, and she's like, L, like, you really inspired him to start a brand at his young age. I want to thank you for being a role model for him. There's tears. Because
Mhm.
I was doing it just to do it, but now I'm seeing that I'm making an impact on younger kids and generations. Like, you want to have a different niche besides just playing sports, because one day it's going to stop, and
Right.
what are you going to do?
Right.
And I was doing this before any NIL stuff. I was first. I was doing it before
Yeah.
all them. Before
And that's what I
any of
want
the
to talk
NIL stuff,
about.
I was doing it. I was
Yeah.
getting it.
That's
I
fire.
was
That
getting
the school
it.
supported you, the team supported you. It was a real thing that was really happening. Y'all weren't taking any L's. Like I said, I was at Crossroads. I wish y'all would have took one against us, but
One against y'all.
but at the same time, you bring up a good point with the NILs. What are your thoughts on that, and how is that so beneficial to the guys that are playing college sports right now? Shoot, even high school. What's your views on the whole NIL?
So I was hearing about stuff prior to my sophomore year. I was like, okay, L, I guess athletes weren't allowed to have brands. The NCAA would shut it down. I'm like this. I don't know why. I was like, I wish they would try and come to me and tell me I can't stop selling my hoodies, because we don't have time for a 9 to 5. We don't have time to go get a job. We're in practice. We're in school, and we're getting grades. We have people on honor roll. You know,
Yeah, makes sense.
you know what I'm saying. So it's like there was no time to go. I'm gonna go work at this place. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, he was in the lab. He was doing school, hanging out with the homies, or to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And NIL it's impactful. Is like, you know, it's just helping people, have some spending money,
Mm-hmm.
and just and rewarding athletes for all their hard work through these deals, you know. And people are asking me, they're like, "Hey, L, who do you use for printing? Who do you go to? How you start?" People were asking me questions during quarantine. My phone was on fire. People were asking me questions. They were like, "L, I'm inspired. Being in quarantine and stuck at the house, I just want to go and do something and start something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where all the new brands started kind of coming out the closet. It was during quarantine. But for athletes,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's perfect. And for me, it's like I got the homie. It's like now I can give them clothes. Yeah, bro, here, wear that. We'll figure something out. And now it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like starting NIL deals from within your friend group. That's what I'm working on,
Right.
now, is just to kind of starting that and trying to get that trend out there, But I think it's perfect, and people can now make money in their sleep just with ads.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
with it,
still
man.
jealous though because Scotty has a cane sponsorship. I don't have one, and I'm sick. And my friend Dalen has one too from Arizona, and I don't have one, and it's not okay because I am Kane's biggest advocate. I'm sick about that. I need that, but I'm working on it.
Come
So
on
we'll
now.
see. But I think it's dope.
Hey, come on now. In the words of the late young Dolph, get paid, get paid, get paid.
Yeah,
I'm
you
with
get
y'all.
paid, man.
I'm with y'all. I'm with
Exactly.
y'all. And I think, y'all deserve. You made a great point. You're spending a lot of time, perfecting your craft. You're student athletes first, and you're trying to get the grades. You're trying to prepare your future. And where is there time to actually, get a job and make some money? It's too much. And also mental health has
Yeah.
to stay in the right space. And so if you're able to create a lane where you can have some residual income using image and likeness in a positive way, and like you said, you influenced another generation to do the same, I'm all with that. You're a pioneer in that space. So I'm hoping that, anybody, any young athlete that wants to learn how to, be their own entrepreneur in that NIL space, man, you got to come holler at LBoogz, man. And the last thing, man, I need to know where I can get me a hoodie,
Yeah.
man. You don't,
Just hit me.
don't send me one. Don't send me one. I want to support it. Tell me where I can get it so I can go ahead, pay for it, get it shipped to me, and then I'll post it, all of that, because that's what it's about, supporting fully. And let the people know where they can get one of those.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, so basically, I've been doing a remodeling for my brand. So I have a new website up and everything. But this whole time, I've been doing it mostly just through my Instagram DM the whole time. And just kind of like remodeling my website. I actually am doing a photo shoot today. For the
Mm-hmm.
new come out for the website. So once that's up, it'll be up and it'll be on go. But at LBoogz, you can find me on Instagram or Tech Noel's brand on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
too. You just find me on there. I respond pretty well. But sooner or later, it's just gonna be through the website, and there will be no, communication. You know what I'm saying? But what's
Word.
dope about kind of me being one of the only brands I feel like, or I feel like he's been doing it for so long, is anybody who has a hoodie now, I have a connection with them. I talk to each person. How are you doing?
Okay.
What size do you want? Where am I shipping? You know what I'm saying? So kind of
Yeah,
my
he's
friends
personal.
say, yeah, exactly, it's personal. And my friends are kind of like, like anytime I wear your hoodie in LA, I'm walking around, people are looking at me and going, hey, L, and it's like. Yeah, like if it's happening to my friends, so it's
That's
kind
so
of
dope.
like a mini like Tate Noel's community, it's just kind of funny.
Yeah,
That's how it's like, okay, you're cool, all right, you're probably cool then. I'm cool with you then, and kind of just starting
that's
friendships just do that and everything.
man, that's awesome, bro. Like you building the culture. You're a major part of the culture, and for a long time you will be. One thing also, I want to add a couple more questions for you, man. What's
No,
it
I'm
like?
I'm good. We have time.
Yeah,
We're good.
okay.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
we're
cool.
good.
What's
Yeah.
Man, so I'm seeing a lot of these young guys. Like, I'm from Los Angeles. I live in Atlanta, Georgia now, and I see a lot of the rappers support the young hoopers in high school and a lot of different celebrities. I've been to games and we played you guys. I was at Crossroads. YG was there. Right now you
Mm-hmm.
got Drake going to the game supporting Sierra Canyon. Obviously, LeBron's there. I've seen Quavo at Scoot Henderson's games, Jacquees. I've seen Lil Uzi Vert at Sharif Cooper's games. Like, what's that like? I mean, you're literally listening to their music to get you pumped before the game, and you come out there and you see these dudes on the floor supporting you. Like, you're entertaining them. The most entertaining people in the world are taking time for you to entertain them as a young prep. What is that like mentally, and how dope is that?
So I think for my thing was my junior and senior year, um, first we had Scottie Pippen, KJ Martin, and then we started seeing Kanye, Kim, Young Taco, not Khloe Kardashian. I forgot the other girl's name, the other Kardashian. Kendall. We see
Not
Kendall
Kendall.
Kardashian. Kendall's there. Money Mayweather's there. We're seeing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, wow, they're like, Kanye's coming. Kanye, we're like, really? Like, not why, but his kids go to our school, but like, that's ridiculous. You know,
Right.
like kind of like the Kanye West is there, you know, and when we never really like saw it, I was like, oh, gotta play better. We just kind of brush it off and just kept playing, you know. Like one time we saw Kim, we were like, hey, yo, Kim's here, you know, like it's Kim Kardashian, yo, whatever. We laugh, you know, like, it's kind of crazy, you know. It's
It's
kind of
that
just
one.
just
It's
laugh
always
it
that
off,
one.
you
Yeah, it's
know.
always
It's
that
that
one
one,
that's gonna be like, oh. I saw something with Shaq.
yeah, like
When he was
Kim.
with the Lakers. Halle Berry came to the game and he called a timeout for no
Oh
reason.
yeah, Ali Berry.
Oh,
He said,
timeout.
Ali Berry's here.
I'm sorry, I had to call one.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I'm
That's
sorry.
exactly
So,
how it is.
so it's just like business as usual because there's still a task at hand to win the game, right?
Yeah, but it's just like for me, like that's how I felt with those celebrities. Now, personally, Drake is my favorite artist. Not my phone my favorite person, but him and LeBron James are my favorite, like, you know, two superstars. But now I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
games and I'm like, they're both there. So I'm just kind of like, I'm watching. I'm like, bro, Drake just walked in, you know, like, and I couldn't imagine, you know, playing for the Drake. Just, you know,
Right.
anybody else, Kanye, it was just fine. But like Drake, I'm like, bro, I gotta get, I
Yeah.
gotta do something. Hey, you know, I gotta hit
Hey, I
somebody.
gotta get a
You know what I'm
bucket. I need
saying?
a
Like do
bucket.
something fun. You know,
Mm-hmm.
get a bucket. You know. And the thing
Mm-hmm.
about the story with Drake that's hilarious is, um, so I had an ongoing joke that I looked like Drake with my friends on social media, and then I called myself Drizzy Boogs, right? Drizzy Bugs, and I posted a side profile of me, kind of whatever. I had the cut, the beard, whatever, had it lined up, whatever, and I posted it on my page, and my comment people were laughing at me like, "Eh, what are you doing? You're crazy, whatever." And I saw Drake at this crew league game called the Crew League, and I
Yep.
was there to do some interviews and stuff with the players who were playing. But then the owner was like, "Hey, L, you know, NLE Chopper's team needs some players." I go, he Hooper? I go, nigga, where my shoes at? You know, I'm like, oh, give me some shoes. You know,
Yeah.
I'm dripped out in the gear. I'm like, bro, we got a hoop, we can hoop. You know what I'm saying? So I get some
Right.
shoes. My dude D Wet was there from Sierra Can. He's our leading scorer for Sierra Can. Shout out D Wet. You know, he gave me some cool 12s, got the fit on, and I'm in warm-ups, you know? And then out of nowhere, the whole thing gets shut down. I'm like, what's going on? Whole thing gets shut down, and people are walking out, but players are still staying inside. But they're, hey, everybody, get out. I'm like, what's going on? And then someone goes, L, Drake's here. I'm like, Drake is not here. Like, why would Drake be here and I not know he's coming to this? I would know. So I'm just chilling.
Right.
I'm walking on the course still, and you know, in my fit, and someone told me to turn around. I don't know what it was. I look up. I kid you not, man. I am not making this up. So it's the floor is here, and he's up in like a VIP area, watching over. He was glowing, bro. He was glowing. I don't know what it was. I've seen celebrities up close. He was glowing. I was like, hey, yo, Drizzy's in the building. So then I posted my side profile picture and then a picture of him that someone else took, you know, on my page. People laughing at me, all that. Week later, literally can't get up. I'm going to see a King game, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go. I was thinking about it. My friend Dylan hit me up, who takes amazing pictures. Like, hey, L, he goes, it's rumored that Drake coming to the game today. I'm like, that's cap. They've been saying Drake coming since I was there. You know, like they've been saying Drake coming. I'm like, yeah, whatever you say, whatever, right? So then I go, L, it's confirmed. I go, all right, I'll figure it out. Boom. I go. Right when I walk in, I'm all right, where can I sit? I start walking over, and then I see, you know, the back door opens. I'm like, okay, like I see J.R. Smith come out. I'm like, okay. I see Jared Dudley come out. I'm like, that's not Anthony Davis, but okay, that's fine. Okay, JD come out. I see Braun come out. I see Braun come out. I'm like, okay, like normalizing just Braun being there is for me is crazy. Just having that normalized now, I think it's ridiculous. You know, it's LeBron James. You know, Braun comes out. I'm like, okay, and I'm just kind of just there. I'm wearing a orange Tate Noel fit, so I'm signing too. You know, I'm traffic coned out. You'll see me, right? And then I see Drake come out. And I'm like this. I was like, hey, yo. He's with Adonis too, his son. So Drake comes out. I'm like, this is a real viral scene. Drake comes out and he's walking, and I'm facing the same way. So he's walking by me, and I just start walking. I just start walking next to him too, you know. And the homie Dylan is there, and he's like, I see him getting to me. I was like, yo, the Grand finna freak out, right? Boom, takes the pictures, right? Sits down, and it's just like, damn, we got NBA pros here just to watch our high school game lined up. I've never seen that kind of star power, except for kind of coming to our game with Kim, and it was just like damn, they're really here, all of them. And then I get home, and Cassie Athena texts me.
Shout out Cassie. Shout out
Cassie. Yeah, me and Cassie is like that.
Yeah.
Cassie hits
Shout
me.
out.
She's like, "Hey, El, I forgot to text you on, and I'm like, text me what? She goes, I have pics of you and Drake. I go, you got pics of me and who? She got pics of me and Drake, and I'm like, yo, I need him. Look at what's going on. I thought only Dylan had them, right? So then, I get the pictures right, and they're perfect. It's a side profile, just how I posted them, walking like this, and security's behind him. So it looks like it's it goes Adonis, Drake, Adonis, me, security, and we're walking. So I'm like, that's a real wild scene. So when I posted it, I had to. It was perfect. It was just like I planned it. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I had to caption it. The caption was like, it was like, because Amare was hooping that game too. So it was like Amare Bailey. What did I say? I said, I said Amare Bailey on fire, like Tyler Hero in the bubble. Drake, Drizzy Bugs and Drake in the building. I think I'm seeing double. So like,
that's the bar.
So I put the bar on him. I put the bar on him. They were just like, there's no way El actually got this Drake picture after we all clowned him on social media. They were like, I have to comment, and people were like, Drizzy Bugs, saying all this stuff. So it was like, that was probably like, my favorite part, I think, favorite celeb who came to us here at Camp Game was for sure that game.
Dope, man.
Sure.
And right now, I mean, it's just on fire right now. You see, they got their docu-series going on. I don't know if anybody's checked it out, but it's out there. What do you think of that? And as where the program has gone, high school sports, NILs to that, and LeBron and Mav and those guys putting them really on display for the world with their docu-series. What do you think about that?
See, what's crazy is before the docuseries, I don't know how to mention. So Slam covered our basketball team our senior year, and we had things called episodes. So we had like episodes of our trips, and we had I think 4 or 3 episodes. If I went back, they're hilarious. Like just seeing us so young, like there's friends of like Amari, and me as a junior. And kind of like going from there and those like funny videos of like our trips and all that, going from there to like a whole, LeBron James oriented, documentary series. I'm just like, it's just this nuts. It just shows the progression of just kind of the high profile of high school basketball. And I saw the first one. Someone said, "Hell, someone shouted you out, bro, for the brand." And I was like, that's love. I'm like, amen. From the docuseries. I still have to watch the second one, but I think it's amazing, just seeing. And I recently followed the guy, I think, who's behind it. I forgot his name, but he's dope. And I'm proud of him doing it how he did it. He knows good interviews with Drake. I mean, sorry, with LeBron and all the players and Kumac. Kumac's covering all the pictures.
Shout out
good looks, man.
That's my guy.
Cool,
good looks.
Kumac, what I'm saying? That's my guy. Good looks for real. He's giving everybody good looks. He's kind of capturing me. He's capturing, from our junior year to our to them now. He was kind of there behind the scenes getting pictures, and he's been doing that now. So kind of just seeing that progression of even him, from covering, Sharif and the O'Neal family, shout out to them, to what he's on now has just been crazy. But I think it's amazing. I think it's great for high school basketball. I think it's amazing.
Yep, I do too, man. So last thing is, man, you're playing football, bro. Like, how does that happen? Like, you go from
football,
there, you're playing cornerback. I mean, you already a lockdown defender. Now you're the lockdown corner. Like, how does that happen, bro? Break this down, man.
Okay, so I wanted to. So I was at LMU for a year. I went to
Okay.
LMU for basketball for a year, and then I got into USC June 1st. And I applied to USC twice, didn't get in. I was like, okay, I'll try one more time. But if I don't get in, I'm not going to be too upset. I'll be at LMU. I'll be fine. Boom. My mom said it. She's like, third time the charm, L, go check. I didn't want to check. I was like, Mom, I'm having a good day. I don't want to be sad. I checked. They're like, congratulations. I'm like, for what? They're like, you're accepted. I'm like, into what? And I'm like, oh, I got in. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm like, it's over. I'm like, it's over. So then I know the coach really well at USC, the staff and the players, we all grew up together, and so shout out to them. And they already had their walk on spots filled because people were already on the team before June 1st. The team was kind of already set. But yeah, the head coach is not sure about having a fourth one. I'm like, bro, we can play for walk on spots. I'm like, set it up. Like, we can set it up. I'm confident. We set it
Mm-hmm.
up. All right, whatever. So that was taking too long. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I gotta play something. I don't know what. I've ran track before. I ran track very fast. I ran track in middle
Mm-hmm.
school and 1 year in high school. And I'm like, maybe that. But I'm like, USC track, that's an
It's
Olympian. Like,
different.
like
Yeah.
I'd have to get in the bag for that. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what's football on? I'm a football. Right. So my friend Sierra Wright, he plays LeBron's son on Space Jam. He's
Oh
on my
yeah.
team. That's
Okay.
been my guy growing up. Yeah, that's been my guy since 6 years old, 7 years old, luckily. And we called him about, hey, are there any football tryouts? He goes, yeah. He's like, just send me what position does L play? And we're like, we don't know. I don't know. I could at that time I could probably name three, four. I know. I didn't even know corner. I just knew quarterback, receiver, running back, and I guess the line. That's it. I didn't really know too much of football. Football I was straight basketball. So then they're like, okay, we'll send over some of L's football tape. We're like, we only have basketball prep school or whatever high school tape. They're like, okay, just send that. I'll see what I can do. So I sent over my basketball prep tape of me at prep school. With Jalen Green was there too, so every like
Oh,
I don't know how, but I've been able to just meet everybody, So
wow.
you
Whoa.
know like it's
Hold
yeah
on,
like
man. You was there too?
like
What? Come
yeah
on, man.
like
Where we going with
yeah
this?
yeah
It's a rabbit hole of
yeah
just.
it's a rabbit hole, man. It's just we graduated, went to prep school. Jalen Green was on Prolific Prep, so I was on the post grad team, so he's on Prolific Prep. So I got to meet him. People in the same house, so I see him every day. He's in the gym early, working.
Mhm.
And then I didn't have to guard him there, but I had to guard him during AAU during his Adidas circuit days. So obviously super elite player, of
Oh,
course.
come on, man.
So yeah, so that was what I'm saying. So that's
So we
one
just
thing.
mentioned
I
we
got
mentioned
stories, man. I'm just
Space Jam. The LeBron's son in Space Jam. He grew up with him, y'all.
I got a
Okay.
story.
He ends up at Prolific Prep with Jalen Green. I mean, we have like, and I'm not trying to clown. This is like some Forrest Gump stuff. Like these stories don't even seem real. Like,
No,
how do you get?
no, yeah, I got
It's just the
it's
man
they're
above.
nuts, bro. I got there's stories, and then Compton Magic, the whole Pac-12 was our whole team. Jared Lucas is Oregon State, Isaiah Mobley, Evan Mobley, Big O, Johnny Juzang. It's just that's the whole
All
Pac-12,
good people.
and just like between AAU and high school, I got to just get great reps. I got to get be even with the China. I got stories, so I'll go back to football, but it's just a lot going on. So back to football. We send my tape over. They go, yeah. They're like, oh, he moves good, looks strong, looks good. Have him come to a tryout. I'm like, okay, bet. So now, I trained for football for about 6 weeks, starting in June. 6 weeks I trained, and had a little. First, I had like my first kind of like, okay, what should L play? Coach goes, you know what? I think L should be a corner. So I'm like, okay, like what's that? What's corner? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, I'm like L. So you guard the receiver. I'm like, okay. So I'm doing drills and all that, right? I'm training all summer. And I didn't tell anybody. I kept it so low profile. I didn't tell anybody. I knew when I dropped the news, if I made the team, they'd be able to go nuts. Then boom, I get to the tryout, and there's probably like 5, 6 walk-ons there trying out. I think like 8 walk-ons trying out, right? I'm the only corner trying out. There's one quarterback, a few receivers, a few running backs trying out. And I'm seeing guys warm up, doing defensive stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'll just do that for warm up. So I'm watching them, trying to, copy them, whatever. And, the drills and all that cone stuff, all that. But then part I'll tell you about is the ball catching, So when I was training, I was doing defensive stuff. I was catching the ball here and there, but I wasn't going receiver mode with catching the football. Mm-hmm. So when I walk onto the field, they're like, one of the walk-ons was like, oh, El, you're going raw? And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? He's like, your gloves. I go, yeah. I didn't think it mattered because with basketball, I never wore. You can tell I'm like, hey, you got no basketball drip. L. Cassius, all clown me. Like, you ain't got no arm sleeve. I didn't care. I was just trying to, I was trying to hoop. Mm-hmm. So for me, I saw it as gloves being the same thing. Like, I don't need gloves. I'm just going to catch the ball. First rep, right? First rep. So they're like, okay, L. So at first, I was going to get brought over and do these corner drills. Like, you know what? Put L with the receiver line. He goes, I want you to do everything. I want you to do everything that they do, but do it backwards. I'm like, bro, what? So they're doing routes. Like, all right, L, so boom, back pedal, right, back pedal, and then come to the ball on a slant. I'm like, okay, bet. First play. The sideline's there, coaches all there, right? So I'm going, right, boom, boom, go for it. He threw a bullet. Right through, straight to the dome, bro. First ball. I'm just like, oh, come on, wake up. You're good. Come on. And then Coach Dante, he was our corner coach at the time. He was like, oh shoot, here we go. I'm like, oh man, come on, get it together. You know what I'm saying? Right. So then boom, next rep, boom, and go. Oh, Sierra's there. Sierra's like, he's like, L, who's calling me? He goes, some gloves. He's like, L, gloves. I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll take them. I go over to him. I felt like, I don't know if you watched Marvel, but I felt like Thanos putting the gauntlet on. I was like this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boom, put it on, right? You know what I'm saying? And I was good, boom, one route, boop. I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. Next route, boom, whatever, same thing. And then the fourth catch, I was running. Okay, all right, I want you to kind of like, slide and then, run out. And I'm thinking like, I feel fast. Like, do I run my full speed, like for football? I was confused. Like, can he throw it to me still? I wasn't sure. So I'm running still, and then he throws it, but he shorts it. So I'm like, oh, I run back and I catch it. Like, it's like, if this is the floor, I catch it like here in my palm, and I catch it. The sideline's like, they're like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I'm him. I feel good. I feel good. And then Coach Dante, he's watching, and he's like, look at my guy improving every rep. I'm like, yep, improving every rep. And boom, trial ends. Like, great job, guys. If you guys make it, we'll make sure we text it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I think I did it. I think I did good. Boom, I get a call like, hey, L, congratulations. I was like, yes. But mentally, I was training for football. I was training for that day. Those 6 weeks, I was like, okay, do well that day. I wasn't thinking about what happens after the tryout. I don't know why. I have no idea why. So I make it. I'm like, whew, I did it. I'm good. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm on the team now. I go, wait a minute. I have to go to practice. Wait a minute. I have to do weights. Hold on. I just forgot. So like, all right, L. So next day, tomorrow, we have practice. I'm like, already? So we're in gear. We're in the locker room. And they're giving us, I've never put pads on before. I didn't put a helmet on before. So they're like, here, play your cell phone. I'm like, hey guys, I'm like Cooper here. I need some assistance, And then boom, they help me out and get my stuff on, right? So now I'm at the corners, running all the drills and all that. They're like, all right, L, so do you know cover 1, cover 2? I'm like, I know 2-3 zone, bro. I don't know this language. I'm like, I know the 2-3. Yeah, I know, I know 2-3, I know 3-2. Like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So then, like, I knew I have to go, but probably the best moment, like early on in the thing, if you guys want funny thing, So it was, I think it was a punt returner. It was a punt returner, I think. And my terms might be off, but I'm on defense, trying to kick the ball, whatever, and then I gotta go and get the guy. He's trying to come back and make the touchdown, whatever. So my guy Prophet's in front of me, right, and he's the other corner. He's great too, freshman. And the coach goes, all right, L, show me the card, right? I want you to run here and then block, right? Do a little slant, right? So block the guy in front. I go, that's it. All right, bet. I follow orders. You gotta give me discrete orders when it comes to football. So I know, don't sugarcoat anything. I need detail by detail. I need it all. So boom, it's like ready, boom, go, boom, kicks it, and it's just me and my dude Prophet like this, not moving, and he's like, L, why aren't you trying to go by me? I'm like, I'm supposed to block you. He's like, I'm supposed to block you. I go, but he told me. I look. And everyone's down the field, gone. And I'm like, oh, shoot. I told him I'm running, whatever, I'm running, right? And after one of the coaches is like, he's like, L, that was the worst kickoff thing, whatever I have ever seen. And I was just like, you told me to block him. You told me to block him, right? And he's like, let's kick off. How does he run after? I'm like, you didn't say all that. He's like,
you block and then run.
Played a lick? He said, have you ever played a lick of high school football in your life? I was like, no, I hope. I was like, no, I hope. Right? It's one of the assistants, I was like, bro, I hope. What do you mean?
Like, y'all ain't checked the background?
Right? Even that's what I'm saying, because even sometimes it's like I get into like brain farts where it's like someone asks me, what do you play? And I'm almost like, oh, two guard. I almost said two guard before. Oh, two guard, corner. Right, corner. Yeah, corner. All right, corner. Two corner, two corner. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right on. Whatever. And then probably, it was like week 3, week 4 where I was in practice and I got my first pick. Got my first pick. So I'm on the corner, dudes, and the receivers. These are pros. These are 5-stars from Mater Dei who've been playing since Pop Warner's 6 years old. And I'm just like, I'm just new. So I'm like trying to, guard them. Mm-hmm. Boom, QB1. So I'm on scout team guarding, whatever. QB1, boom. He throws it. I'm like, I can get that. It's like kicking the ball in basketball. So I run through him. I get it. I run back for a touchdown for a pick 6. And I'm lit. I show energy. I'm teed up. And I look, and no one's lit. So I'm just like, am I supposed to do that? I'm like, was that wrong? So I walk back kind of slowly, gave him the ball, whatever. I'm like, yo, Beavs. I'm like, am I good? Yeah, you're good. El, good job. I'm like, why is nobody lit? Because I've seen, scrimmages, people get lit. So I was like, why is nobody lit? But what's funny is that exact day, our coach for DBs, Coach Aaron, he was like, hey guys, we need 2 picks today in practice. He knows I'm new. He knows I play basketball. So I already had 1, right? So I got a second one, right? So I go to him, I'm like, hey Aaron, I'm like, we have our 2 picks today. And he's like, we do? I saw 1. He goes, who the second one? I go, CB. He goes, cornerback? I said, nah, LBoogz. Fell out laughing, bro. He's like, nah. He goes, you capping. You capping. I'm like, I said, check the film, man. Go check the film. The film don't lie. It don't lie.
It never does.
So it never does. So it was, it never does. So it was probably that day, that game where, I feel part of the team now, because I was probably like maybe a month in, my other walk-on homies and other people on the team, their ball was already, receiver for USC or USC tackle or QB1, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I want to earn it. I obviously I earned it working hard for it, but I want to re-earn it again while I'm on the team. So Then an article came out. Mind you, I didn't tell anybody about football at all. No one knew at all. Article comes out. It was like, QB1 so and so had a great practice today, but he was kicked off by walk-on redshirt L Simpson. So people are like, hey, L, this you? And I'm like, I'm in an article with the QB1. And then my dude, Drake London, who I knew as a hooper first, I had no idea he was the best receiver in the country. Had no idea. He's beyond like that, if you know who that is. And so it goes QB1, and it talks about me, and then it goes to Drake, and I'm just like, if someone would have told me that a month ago, I wouldn't believe you.
Right.
You know, same sentence. So I'm like, this is nuts. This is ridiculous, right? So then, boom, I had my dude Tala flick me up in my uniform before one of our games, and then I posted it. And it was cool. People were kind of finding out here and there, like, on being on the field.
Wait a minute.
Like,
they're like, wait a minute.
You know, they're like, wait a minute. You know, it looks like, because people know, they know basketball, but it's like at the stadium, like one game I was walking around, I had braids in, I'm walking around, and this random girl looks at me, and we make eye contact, and she goes, I didn't know her, but she looked at me and she went, I go, oh no. I go, she knows. She goes, tapped her friend. He goes, hey, isn't that? Put her phone out. I go, no, time to go. Took a picture of me and put it in some group chat and started spreading like wildfire. You know, I didn't even tell Cassius. That's how you know I wasn't telling nobody. Cassius didn't even know. That's my best friend. I didn't tell Cassius.
That's
started
crazy.
Getting out there. I'm like, dang, people are getting pictures of me. You know, it's crazy. And then USC football, they posted pics from practice, and I was on their page, and I was like the fourth slide of me with a helmet on. People were like, huh?
What is going on?
I was like, y'all exposing me. You know, what's going on? I'm like, stop exposing me. So then, after a month, you know, boom, I posted my pictures, and Instagram just went on fire. They're like, hey, L, that's your Halloween costume? They asked me if it was my Halloween costume. I said, I did not work this hard to be called a Halloween costume. I said, I'm like, why would I be another man for Halloween? They're like, I just thought I was getting phone calls from my close. Hey, L, so why are you playing games on your social media? I'm like, bro, I tagged USC football. What do you mean? They're like, you're not on the football team. I go, why not? They're like, you play basketball. I'm like, well, clearly I'm playing football now. So, you know,
that's amazing.
But the comments were, it was everybody. It was Cassie Athena. It was Mikey Williams. Like, everybody was in the comments. And so then people on my team, they were like, who is this kid? They were confused. They were like, why does he have followers? You know, they were like, he's a walk-on for football. Why does he have, 14K?
Whole nother world.
Then, like, who is this dude? So then people were asking questions. They're like, asking questions now. They're like, why does he know everybody? So that was kind of like the most fun. But football weights, I've gained 15 pounds since we started. I'm like 210 now from 195, and it's not like it's not really not too much fat. Like we've been in there. Like they got neck machines. They got the leg press. The first, I thought I was gonna pass out the first day. I was like, I'm cool. I'm done. I'm cool. Where's golf? Where's something else? No, that first day they took the walk-ons on the field, but they took our walk-ons separate and worked us out. While they were training. It was nuts.
Man,
I was done. I was done.
I can only imagine you stepping in a whole new world. You tapped both
whole
sides,
new world,
bro. You the new Bo Jackson right now.
That's what
you like the new Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, bro. Listen, what you're doing right now, I don't think people really understand how hard it is, but also how blessed you are in the space that you're in. And, for me, I'm inspired, man. And I hope anybody else listening to this, watching this is feeling the same way, because you're really like, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. And if you believe in yourself, and I think you're a walking testimony of that. And then just going back to earlier in the interview of talking about, hey, I need you to face guard this guy, right? It started on defense for you. And now where you're at right now, you're actually on defense again, face guarding.
Actually on defense, yeah.
Guarding somebody. And you did it against one of the top prospects. That was your boy at SC, and got your notoriety by getting a pick on him and the QB1. Bro, like, this is amazing. And the story is still to be continued, man. And I want to wrap with you a little bit further, man. And I want to stay in contact with you, because I truly enjoy what you're doing and what you're on. So anybody that check this out, man, make sure you follow LBoogz, know his story. Shout out to the good folks at Ballers Life, man. We gotta close this episode right now, but stay tuned, stay locked in for more buckets and breakdowns. I'm your host, Coach Thomas Scott. and we out.